Has the Miami Dolphins organization completely lost its mind? Are we witnessing a franchise in a full-blown identity crisis? Or is this a calculated, albeit painful, pivot towards a future we can't yet see? Fins fans, prepare yourselves, because the news hitting the wire today is nothing short of a gut punch, a dizzying spin that leaves us questioning everything we thought we knew about this team's direction. Just months ago, we celebrated the triumphant return of a prodigal son, a defensive cornerstone, a player who embodied the very spirit of what we hoped this new era would be. We're talking, of course, about Minkah Fitzpatrick, the blockbuster trade that brought him back to Miami, sending Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to Pittsburgh. Felt like a masterstroke, the final piece of a championship puzzle. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated joy, a belief that the Dolphins were finally serious about building a dominant defense. But now, in a cruel twist of fate that feels ripped from a tragic sports drama, that dream reunion appears to be on the verge of collapsing, with the season in absolute shambles, a dismal 2-7 record staring us in the face, and the architect of that initial trade, GM Chris Grier, already shown the door. The new regime is reportedly ready to admit a colossal mistake. Ultra-recent reports confirm that the Miami Dolphins are open to trading Minkah Fitzpatrick again. Let that sink in for a moment. Minkah Fitzpatrick, the all-pro safety, could become a 3-time traded player in record time. The emotional roller coaster is enough to give any fan whiplash. What in the name of the perfect season is going on here? The euphoria of June has evaporated, replaced by a chilling reality. What was supposed to be the final, gleaming piece of formidable defense has now become a luxury, a high-priced asset that a team in full-blown reconstruction simply cannot afford. The season's collapse, a brutal 2-7, or worse depending on the exact week's update, has forced a complete reevaluation of the roster, and Fitzpatrick, with his market value still sky high, has become the most obvious trade chip to recoup the necessary draft capital for the future. To truly grasp the gravity of this rumor, we need to look at the timeline. In June, the acquisition of Fitzpatrick was celebrated as a masterstroke, bringing a defensive leader back home. However, the reality on the field has been cruel. The Dolphins' defense, despite individual talent, simply couldn't stop the bleeding. This brings us to the cold, hard financial and strategic logic. The new regime, led by interim GM Champ Kelly, doesn't have the same emotional or financial ties to the current roster that Chris Grier did. Minkah's contract, while having a low base salary this year, making him easy to move for a contender with limited cap space, is set to pay him an unguaranteed $15.6 million in 2026. For a team that needs to clear salary cap space for a full-scale rebuild, shedding that future obligation is incredibly tempting. And despite the team's struggles, Fitzpatrick is still widely regarded as an elite safety, ranked in the top 9 by PFF this season. This means he can still command valuable draft picks, perhaps a second or third rounder, from teams desperate for secondary help, like the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles. In the grim calculus of a rebuild, a proven asset like Fitzpatrick is currency, and the Dolphins are looking to cash in. This isn't just a rumor. It's a seismic shift in the team's philosophy, a public acknowledgement that the previous direction was fundamentally flawed. As the analysis from Pro Football Rumors starkly puts it, in a headline straight out of 2019, they are now including Minkah Fitzpatrick as a piece they are willing to move, with the Dolphins at 2-7, and already having dealt Jaelan Phillips. Fitzpatrick may need to pack his bags once again. The Dolphins' mission has changed drastically since they acquired him in June. What was a win-now attempt has turned into a garage sale. That last sentence is the most damning. The mission has changed. The vision has crumbled. So, if Minkah is indeed on the block, where could he land? Who would be willing to take on an all-pro safety from a floundering team? The market for an all-pro safety is always robust, and several teams have already reportedly reached out to the Dolphins, sniffing around the possibility. The most intriguing rumor, and one that makes a lot of sense from a team needs perspective, links Minkah to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas's defense has been vulnerable, and Jerry Jones loves acquiring stars. Adding Minkah to the Cowboys secondary could be the move that propels them towards a Super Bowl. Another strong contender could be the Philadelphia Eagles. After acquiring Jalen Phillips, the Eagles have shown they're in buy-now mode. Reuniting Phillips and Fitzpatrick in Philly would be a bitter pill for Miami fans to swallow, but it would make perfect sense for the Eagles' championship aspirations. And what about a return to Pittsburgh? Ironically, many fans have suggested a return to the Steelers, but league rules prohibit a player from being traded back to the same team in the same season they were dealt, unless they are first released. So, that door for now is firmly closed. The impact of a Minkah Fitzpatrick trade would be devastating to team morale. He was a symbol of defensive hope. The prodigal son returned. To see him leave again would confirm the competitive window for Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel has officially slammed shut. For the players who remain, like Jalen Waddle and Javon Holland, the message is clear. Nobody is safe. The front office is prioritizing future assets over present talent. The family culture that McDaniel tried to build is being dismantled piece by piece in the name of financial efficiency and draft capital. In conclusion, the trade for Jalen Ramsey in exchange for Minkah Fitzpatrick felt like a resounding victory back in June. It was a moment of optimism, a belief that the Dolphins were finally making the right moves to contend. Now, in November, it feels like the last gasp of a failed regime. If the Dolphins do indeed trade Minkah before the deadline, or even in the upcoming offseason, it will be the final, undeniable confirmation that the 2025 season was a complete and utter waste of talent, resources, and most painfully our collective hope. The Dolphins are hitting the reset button, and Minkah Fitzpatrick is the most valuable currency they have to finance the restart. What does this mean for the future of the Miami Dolphins? Are we truly entering another prolonged period of rebuilding, or is there a method to this madness that will eventually pay dividends? We want to hear from you, Fins fans. What's your immediate reaction to this news? Are you angry, frustrated, or do you see a glimmer of hope in this drastic shift? Let us know in the comment below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for all the latest, most passionate Dolphins analysis. This is a tough pill to swallow, but we'll get through it together. Fins up, even when it hurts.